Wilson's KC Prime. With tonight's guest, the City Light Orchestra, cartoonist Charlie Barsotti, plus the Kansas City Explorer takes you somewhere you've never been before. Now come with us as we enter the basement production office of KC Prime.
Woo! Hey, there's my little ghost buddy, Ghost, I call him. Hi, this is Dick Wilson, and this is the little family-owned and operated show called KC Prime. Halloween coming up at the end of this week, and it's a scary time of the year for me, not because of the ghosts and the goblins, but because I can never decide what I want to wear at all the Halloween parties. But I've taken care of it this year. This year, the ultimate costume. I will be attending the Halloween parties as this man. Pretty scary, huh? You know, one thing I like about doing KC Prime is giving you the chance to see some of the musical acts that are performing around town in the night spots and nightclubs around town. And there's one group that I have for quite a while been trying to get on the show. Schedules have not quite worked out, but tonight they have. And I'm real happy to have the City Light Orchestra as our guest this evening. Got a lot of great things coming up in the show, but you can hear the guys warming up. So why don't we get up and get over and meet these guys and see if we can't get them to do a song for us, all right? The City Light Orchestra. Yeah, all right. Hey, that sounds great. Yeah, bring those lights up. City Light Orchestra. Gosh, guys, come over here. Let's find out who you are. Individual. I've waited for, seems like years, to have you go on TV, and I'm glad you're able to make it with us tonight. Let's do some introductions. Let's find out who our friends are.
Ahmed Aladdin.
Right.
Laverne Barker.
Okay.
David Bassey.
Tim Whitmer.
And, of course, it's Big L, right? Okay, that's the sign here. Am I doing that right? Oh, it did be right here.
Right, the right hand.
All right. Tim, the City Lights Orchestra, how long have you all been playing in the area, you know?
We started about 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
We were beginning our 5th year, and we're back home. We're at City Light Restaurant now through the first of the year.
All right. Your travels have taken you around a bit. You've been up in New York? And
We've been in New York 3 times. We've been to Santa Fe, New Mexico about a zillion times. We've been to Texas, and we're going to New Orleans, planning a train trip to New Orleans here pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, a jazz festival there?
And a jazz festival in the spring.
Hey, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Big L, tell me, you've played around the area here for a while. You played with some of the groups from the past. What kind of remembrance do you have?
Yes, my career goes back to about 1941. I played with Andy Kirk and his Clouds of Joy. I went to New York, where I worked at the Apollo Theater with the house band there, and Eddie Haywood, Canadian Sunset,
Yeah.
and a few others.
Well, we're glad to have you here with us now. Ahmad, how about you? How long have you been playing?
I came alive in the 60s, you know. I came along in the bebop era.
Yeah.
So I'm just a newcomer.
Just a young guy. Yeah. Well, that's great. You've got a record I know you guys done. Tell me about it, Tim.
We've got 2 records, Dick. We've got the first one we recorded here in Kansas City. It's called Raised Spirits. And then we recorded a second one last year right outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico. And it's called Tain't What You Do, It's the Way How You Do It.
Well, I'm ready to hear something. So let's all get in our respective places, and let's have some music from the City Lights Orchestra, okay? I'll even help set up a bit.
Red top, my little red top. See how you got me spinning, going round and round, and I don't want you to stop. You got me, so if I don't go round, well, I'm sure gonna drop, we're gonna
job, guys. Thank you. Oh, City Light Orchestra. How about a little something to kind of take us out here for a moment, yeah? I like that, yeah. City Light Orchestra on KC Prime. We'll be back in a few minutes when the Kansas City Explorer will take you somewhere you've never been before. Back in a minute. Well, the Kansas City Explorer has been out and about and is about ready to take us into some place that we've never been before. So let's join him now. This episode of the Kansas City Explorer.
Kansas City Explorer on location in the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art. It's full of wonderful paintings and sculptures, and if you've never been inside, you should come over and take a look. It's free on Sundays. But I've often wondered, what happens if they have a problem with one of the statues? What happens if one of the paintings is broken or ripped or whatever? I found out there's a place that takes care of that. The way that they fix damaged paintings that are broken, we might say, is on the 3rd floor in the conservation department. So let's grab these elevators, and next time you're at the gallery, look at these elevators. They were once chosen as the best small elevators in the entire Kansas City area. There's only 2 floors normally, so we have to use the key to go up to the private 3rd floor where all the work is done on the paintings. So let's try that. Okay. Okay, 3rd floor. This is the conservation department. This way. All right, through this door is where all the activity takes place, but here, I've noted a way that I can show you where we are in the building in relationship to the entire Nelson Art Gallery. Up on the 3rd floor, this area that you see right above the column areas, this room, this is where the conservation department is, and that's where all the work takes place. All right, let's go in. I think Scott Heffley's waiting inside for us to show us around. Well, quite a lot of equipment in this room. Scott, hello, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Well, very good. Scott, tell me a bit about what you do here, your position.
Well, I'm the assistant paintings conservator here at the Nelson, and the staff includes a chief conservator, Forrest Bailey, and a paper conservator, Chris Young. The 3 of us as conservation people.
What type of background goes into being a conservationist in art?
Conservation requires background in 3 different areas. Studio art for your hands-on effort with the paintings and so on, art history to be working with the old paintings, and also a background in science of chemistry for all of the technical aspects of your work.
Where are we now? What is this we're standing?
This is the conservation studio. We have about 2,000 square feet with a good 15-foot ceiling, and we have a large area for paintings conservation here, an area for paper conservation, and a 3rd area for storage and examination.
What are you working on at the moment now?
Well, I'm working on a painting of a little girl over here, so...
All right, let's take a look.
This is a portrait of a little girl by George W. White, 1872. And with a tear like that, what I do is I fill the paint loss, only paint that has fallen from the canvas, and I fill that with wax, pigmented wax. Then I come in with a tiny brush using paints that I mix myself with pure pigments and match the color so that you don't know that the tear is there all along that area.
How long does the total process take to repair?
Well, it's hard to say. This particular project has taken over a month, month and a half.
What are the other notes of interest about this painting?
Well, actually, it's a post-mortem painting. It was done in 1872. The little girl was 6 when she passed away, and the family wanted to have a record of her appearance. You can see that they included things that were especially interesting to the girl, such as her hat and her pet dog. She's holding flowers, and there are flowers strewn in front of her. In fact, when I was taking the painting off of its original stretcher, I found flower petals caught between the stretcher and the painting down in the lower area where the family had originally hung a garland of flowers probably on the painting back in 1872.
Well, let's take a look at something else over here.
Okay.
Here's a familiar piece. What are you working on here?
This is Thomas Hart Benton, the Pathfinder, part of his American history epic from 1926. And it's going to be part of the 1989 exhibit for Thomas Hart Benton, the centennial of his birth. And this is a major project for us here in the Conservation Lab because we have 10 paintings, of which this is one of the smaller ones that we'll be restoring in the next year or so. And this one has been cleaned, will be lined a little later, and currently I'm setting down some cleavage, which means paint that is lifting from the canvas is being re-adhered.
Oh, I see. I know there's another exciting unveiling coming very soon. Let's talk about that.
Right, that's John Singer Sargent. This is Mrs. Cecil Wade by John Singer Sargent. It was painted in 1886 when Mrs. Wade was 23 years old and John Singer Sargent was 30 years old. It was brought here, purchased by the Enid and Crosby Kemper Foundation directly for the Nelson, and we're very indebted to them for that. This painting is actually in very good condition for a painting of its age, but any painting 100 years old will have problems, this one included. The canvas that John Sargent used in painting this was a very fine canvas, and in the 100 years since it was done, the canvas has deteriorated. There are a number of tears. You can see some of them up here, down here. The edge of the canvas is rather tattered and quite weak, and the painting originally was probably about 6 inches longer than it is now, and at some time in the past it was cut off and folded around the tacking edge. This is the examination report from the John Singer Sargent, complete with diagrams and all of the different ground and surface films identified. I use different equipment in this examination. I will generally use a binocular microscope, ultraviolet light, and sometimes, if necessary, X-ray examination too. The first thing that I did in the treatment after examination was to clean the painting.
Isn't that nerve-wracking?
It is, it can be, but if you approach any of these problems slowly and cautiously, you just go through the steps and it works out. Yeah. And in this particular painting, I used different solvent combinations to clean different areas because the background was more sensitive than her dress was to the solvents, and so I used a different solvent combination for the background. And in removing that yellow varnish, all of these purples and violets became more apparent, and the beauty of his color and palette came through.
It's a beautiful painting. I know you have a lot of work to do on the painting yet. When is the deadline for this?
Well, the painting will be unveiled in Kirkwood Hall November 9th, and we'll be purchasing a new frame for us, so that's part of the current deadline.
I know a lot of people have said $1.5 million and you don't even get a frame.
Yeah, well, we got a frame, but it fits the folded-in version.
Yeah. Well, Scott, thank you very much for giving us a little tour of the conservation area at the Nelson Gallery. It's been a wonderful educational experience, and good luck on your work with the Sargent.
Thank you.
Very much. Thanks. So. And, oh, by the way, there was just one quick thing while I've got you here. I've got an Elvis on velvet. I have a little problem with that one. How can I take care of that? What do you think I need to do for cleaning?
Well, I think probably your local dry cleaners might be the best for
dry
that.
cleaners. Okay.
Don't forget that Sargent painting premieres at the Nelson on Sunday, November 9th from 1 to 5 p.m. More music coming up from the City Light Orchestra. And in just a few minutes, we'll talk to a nationally known cartoonist who lives and works right here in Kansas City on KC Prime. Back in a minute. Hi, folks. This is Dick Wilson with one message. No nuclear weapons in your home. Here's Tim and Dave from City Light Orchestra. They had a nuclear arsenal in their home, and look what happened to them. No nukes in your home. Join our national chairman, Mikhail Gorbachev, in his drive to keep nuclear weapons out of each and every house. Thank you very much. Well, that little picture of little old me, that caricature in the middle, was drawn by my good friend Charlie Barsotti, who lives here in the Kansas City area and is a national acclaimed cartoonist. That's not too large of a description, would you say?
No. Yeah. Acclaimed, I think I like acclaimed a lot.
Yeah, acclaimed is pretty good.
That's very good.
You know, you have so many things going around the country, and I just want to let people know that you live and work in the Kansas City area. And but every day if they pick up USA Today, the Life section, page 2, that's Charlie Barsotti, see Barsotti's People.
Cleverly
Okay,
named,
Stu.
I thought.
Yes, And what other places can we find your drawings?
Well, P.J. McFay's in the afternoon paper, the Kansas City Star. Let's see, the New Yorker magazine.
Yeah,
USA Today, USA Weekend, which is not carried here. Texas Monthly, which also is not carried here. And then various sidewalks and
You've had a couple
walls.
books out.
Oh, yeah.
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 They're,
Well, we have a book out right now called USA Today cartoon book, I think.
Yeah.
And it's it's a third of it's my cartoons, a third Bruce Cochran, and a third Dean Viator.
Yeah.
And it's in the stores as we speak.
Well, what is it? I know you have a busy week in hitting all the deadlines for all of this type of drawings that you send out all over the place. What's your week like?
I kind of laze around most of the time, and we have one has to stay with it.
I know you can never talk to you on the phone when you call.
Well, that's just because I'm cranky.
Yeah, okay.
That has nothing to do with anything else. I just don't want to talk. No, we have to stay with it. Usually the first part of the week we try to take care of the newspaper obligations, and the strip, we're not sure about what the future is going to be at this point. But, it could be doing a little bit better, although I'm very pleased with it. The USA Today, of course, USA Weekend, all of these things take time. But I always try to end the week up with a mailing to the New Yorker. That's the anchor, the end of the week.
Some exciting news coming up. Someone's going to take you to England.
That's true.
What's happening on that?
I think it was some sort of international, it's a trade for a hostage, I believe. I'm not sure what's going on. No, we were just delighted. I was very, very pleased. This corporation in England, 3i, is putting out this huge calendar, and they asked me to replace all the punch people that they had been using in previous years. It was very flattering.
Yeah.
And so this calendar is going to be really quite large, and there'll be a cartoon for each week, which comes down to, of course, over 50 cartoons, including the cover. And it was quite a project, and it's now in the hands of the printers. And to kick it off in December, this is something they give out.
Yeah.
And so it's not a commercial. We're not plugging anything. There's nothing to plug. But it's just going to be a lot of fun. They're going to kick the calendar off. I'll go to England and
I just want to be on the
embarrass myself. Yeah.
You're going to be on their Today Show equivalent?
That's what they tell me. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie, we're happy. You're one of the reasons that we call the show KC Prime, because you're one of the prime people that are performing in this area.
Well said.
And,
well said.
and I've rehearsed that quite often. Yeah. And we're happy you could spend a little time with us and let us know what you're up to.
Thank you, Dick.
And excuse me a minute, I want to step over here and see if we can get some more music out of the City Light Orchestra. Right. City Light Orchestra, our guest on KC Prime tonight. Guys, we got time for one more song. Have you got anything maybe I could get involved in with you on?
Did you bring your clarinet?
No, I don't have the clarinet. How about something?
How about kazoo?
I don't have a kazoo.
How about a speaking part?
Hey, that'd be great. A
And a speaking part?
Would be good. Let's try it.
We got something right up your alley.
Right.
Well, my buddy and me on the main stem, fooling around just me and him. Decided we could use a little something to eat. We dropped by a house on Rampart Street. We knocked on the door, it opened with ease. And a alert little miss said, "Come in, please." Before we could even bat an eye, we were right in the middle of a big fish fry. Was rocking, was rocking. You never seen such shoving and scuffing till the break up dawn. Was rocking, little dit. Was rocking, little dit. You never seen such shoving and scuffing till the break up dawn. Well, the women were screaming and jumping and yelling. The bottles were flying, the fish was smelling. Way up above, all the noise they made somebody holler.
You better get out of here. This is a raid.
I didn't know I was breaking the law. Just as some fool hit Dick in the jaw. The house blocked off, the front, the back, putting them in the wagon like potato sacks. Was rocking, was rocking. You never seen such shoving and scuffing till the break up dawn. Was rocking, little dit. Was rocking, little dit. You never seen such shoving and scuffing till the break up dawn. Let's rock out.
thank you for watching. We'll be back again December 22nd on a Monday night, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching KC Prime tonight. Happy Halloween. Let's do it. A little more. Come on.